Most exciting destination in all of northern Wisconsin. LCO Casino Lodge and Convention Center, Hayward. LCO.
Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Nave News Update. It's Friday, May 19th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for today from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. The former leader of the New Mexico Democratic Party is officially running for an open congressional seat and hopes to become the nation's first Native American Congresswoman. Deborah Haaland announced her bid after recently filing a statement of candidacy with the Federal Election Commission to run for the state's first congressional district. Haaland says her focus will include economic and educational opportunities for New Mexicans, along with a commitment to clean energy. A member of Laguna Pueblo, she's seeking to succeed U.S. Representative Michelle Lujan Grisham, an Albuquerque Democrat who's stepping down to run for New Mexico governor. An appeals court panel approved a lower court's plan for distributing $380 million left over from the U.S. government's loan discrimination settlement with American Indian farmers and ranchers 6 years ago. President Barack Obama's administration agreed in 2011 to pay $680 million to settle a class action lawsuit filed in 1999 by Indian farmers who said they were denied loans for decades because of government discrimination. The lead plaintiffs were George and Marilyn Keepseagle, ranchers on the Standing Rock Reservation. Only about half of the 10,000 expected claims came in. In April 2016, a judge approved a plan for the leftover money devised by the two sides in the lawsuit that included an additional payment of $21,275 to each claimant and about $300 million to groups that help Indians. Two of the claimants appealed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, arguing that the entire $380 million should be divvied up among the class members. A three-judge panel voted 2-1 to uphold the district court's findings that the plan was fair, reasonable, and adequate. A Native American advocacy group is asking Wyoming wildlife managers for a ban on killing wolves along a wide swath of land bordering Yellowstone National Park. A request sent to the Wyoming Fish and Game Department seeks a temporary suspension of wolf hunting altogether and a 31-mile no-hunting sacred resource protection safety zone along the outskirts of 2.2 million-acre park in northwest Wyoming. Protect the Wolves Director Roger Dobson says Wyoming's insistence on allowing unregulated hunting of wolves outside areas where wolves are still protected was a motivation for approaching the state. In Wyoming, wolves remain protected in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks. The state has tightly regulated hunting seasons in the adjoining Greater Yellowstone area. But elsewhere in Wyoming, where wolves aren't nearly as numerous, wolves can be shot on sight and without limit. The Ponca tribe of Nebraska renamed the state's Homestead Trail to Chief Standing Bear Trail after gaining ownership of the sliver of land the tribe refers to as the Ponca Trail of Tears. In 1877, U.S. soldiers forced over 700 Ponca members to march nearly 280 miles from their homeland along the Niobrara River to the reservation in Oklahoma. The Nebraska Trails Foundation transfer of ownership also concluded a walk to commemorate the 140th anniversary of the Ponca's removal from the state. More than 100 people, mostly indigenous, left Niobrara in late April and walked 285 miles to Barnston. The trail has been renamed after Chief Standing Bear, who was arrested after leaving the reservation while trying to bury his son on Ponca land. Moved by Standing Bear's testimony, a judge ruled in 1879 that Native Americans are people that can't be forced onto a reservation. The Cherokee Nation donated $195,000 to 8 Boys and Girls Club programs throughout northeastern Oklahoma. Funding is based on the number of Native American students in each program. In total, the 8 area programs serve more than 11,000 students, with nearly 60% being Native American. Since 2008, the Cherokee Nation has given more than $2 million to help Boys and Girls Club programs in the tribe's 14-county jurisdiction. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Nave News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.